Hey y'all, so good to see you all. You all left me notes before we even started, and I appreciate you so much. To Terry, hey Terry, so glad if you could, Kim, what's going on? Deborah, oh my gosh, we got a lot to catch up on. And bad girl, Bryn, what's going on? Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Can I tell you how nervous I was to hit the go live button? Like, I haven't done this in a minute and I was nervous. I had like butterflies and things. But we're gonna get into some things. We got a whole agenda. As always, if those of you who are here with me live, thank you. You're so kind. Thank you, 3 Year Funk. Oh, hey, Tonica, hey, what's going on? So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, of course. Hello. Don't forget to network with the individuals who come in on live because we're going to talk about some things and you are definitely going to need a support system because what's happening in this world, listen, you got to be prepared for it. So let's just talk about what I'm going to go over today. Back to the U.S. Not that I'm moving back there, but I went back there. I'm going to tell you what that was all about. Brief stint on Costa Rica. I did go to Costa Rica while I was in the States, and I will do a separate video on that, but you'll get some information on it. My current health, we're going to talk about that a little bit, and reality check and some new adventures. So, hey, Jessica. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Before we get into everything, I want to let you know about some of the lives that I'm going to be doing at least the month of October. I can definitely commit to October. So the first one, listen, for those of you who want to move abroad and y'all need to create some online income, I'm going to talk about next Tuesday, same time, same bat channel. I'm going to attempt to do free training the whole month of October so that people can kind of figure out where they need to start. So here I'm talking about your unique value proposition. What's going to make you stand out from your competitors? You want to put this in your marketing message. We'll get deep into that. So for those of you, my online income folks, so if you have a business, want to start a business, see me next Tuesday. We're going to spend a whole hour. It will be a workshop. Bring paper and pen, okay? Because we're going to get into it and you can ask me all the questions you need, especially when I can't answer your emails. I will be there for you. So we're doing that. And then the following day, which is Wednesday, we're going to do a Portugal Q&A segment. So listen, I've been getting a ton of questions about Portugal. I am pulling them all together. So if you're on my list, just shoot me an email. Let me know what your questions are. If you can't attend that live, it's cool. I'm just going to use that whole hour to answer all your questions. And of course, guys, if you're there with me live, I'll answer your questions live. There is a lot going on in Portugal. There's a lot going on in the economy. And spoiler alert, if you have not moved to Europe yet and you make USD money, I'm pretty much going to tell you you might want to hold off, right? Because if you haven't seen the video on why Americans should probably wait to 2000 later to move to Europe in general, I did a whole video on that. If you missed it, check it out because I talk about the economic data, and that's going to be critical because I'm not really sure Americans are understanding how different everything is when you pay your bills in euros and you make USD. USD is typically 10% less than euros. So you got to consider that Portugal has gotten expensive. So if you not putting those things into your equation, into your numbers, you're going to run up and be in a bad way. So we're going to talk about that next Wednesday. Okay, so that is what's going on there. Hey, y'all. Oh, I'm so glad y'all here. Yolanda, what's going on? Stacy, hey, Michelle. Hey, Diane. Hey, Justine. Okay, what are we talking about? So just real quick, back to the U.S. Okay, so I went back to the U.S. for two reasons. One was because my health was on tripping. And two, I hadn't seen my folks in about a year. So for those of you who remember, I shared my medical issues. Some of this is going to be TMI, so I'll go through it pretty quickly. But I have an autoimmune disease, and it's with my intestines. And depending on what doctor I see will tell me whether it's Crohn's or UC or whatever, right? So I had gotten diagnosed like about 2 years ago, and I didn't know I had it. Apparently, I had it forever, but I was in remission, and I was in Europe, living in Europe for a year. Then I went back to the States, and I started eating all the food. that I missed. And between that and some stress, I apparently brought myself out of remission, right? So I was fighting for that for a bit. And then it got to a point about 8 months ago. I was sick. Like I had an infection in my intestines and I was bedridden for like 2 weeks. And it was horrible. And again, I'm gonna give you a little bit of TMI, but you know how I do. So initially, when I had my test and we had the camera images of my inside, it was pink. By the time I got sick, it was black. Yes. So that's how bad it was. Okay. So I felt horrible. I could not eat. I just struggled. And I was like, listen, I'm not trying to live like this. Like somebody tell me what I need to do because I'm over it. And so this is one of the challenges about living abroad. So of course I have a community here that I love, but my family and friends in the States was not having it. They was like, if you do not bring your ass home. So I had researched a doctor in California that was first off, I do intermittent fasting anyway, and I've done a 4-day water fast before. And so this doctor was really talking about the benefits of an extended water fast. So that is what I did. Before I did that, I went to Costa Rica. I'm going to do a separate video on the water fast. It was a doctor supervised 10-day water only fast. Yeah, it was treacherous. I'm not even gonna lie, but I think it did put me into remission because I'm not having any of the symptoms that I had before. But I haven't gone back to the doctor to get another imaging of my insides to see where we are with things, right? So that's kind of like where my health was. I jumped to my health before I meant to tell you something else. What were we talking about? Okay, so Costa Rica, I went to Costa Rica before I did the fast. And so my best friend, I'll do a separate video on Costa Rica. We went to Jaco, and Costa Rica was like my first country love. It still is. I had never been to this part of Costa Rica because it's kind of rumored to be like party town and all that other stuff. So I usually stay on another side of Costa Rica. I used to go to Costa Rica like every month before I moved out the country. And so it was beautiful. It was great. But I had to work majority of the time I was there. So we didn't do too much. This is where we stayed, and this was on Airbnb. And if you follow me on Instagram, you heard me just complaining about Airbnb and how expensive Airbnb has gotten. So that's that. And then we did a couple other things. There was this restaurant, like this restaurant here that you see. It is made out of a plane. And I don't know if the plane is famous or whatever, but we did that. And then it has these beautiful views, but I will share you on all that later. Okay, so making sure I'm not getting any questions. Oh, hey, okay, so that was Costa Rica. Current health, we talked about that. Am I missing anything? Current health. So my current health right now, I think it's better than it was. And if you are suffering from any health situation, listen, if you don't take care of your body will slow you down and make you do it. So just do what you have to do. When I did the water fast, it was hard. And I thought I could do it by myself, but you're going to need someone to take you to your doctor's appointments because you have to get blood tests if you're doing it with a doctor's supervision. You have to get blood tests every 7 days. And I stayed in the U.S. longer than anticipated, which made it so I can't go back to the U.S. for a while without jeopardizing my immigration. Because when I initially attempted to do the water fast, I got my blood work back and I was severely anemic. And the doctor would not, she would not allow me to do the water fast. And I had no iron. So I did an iron supplement, a vegan one. I'm not vegan. I'm not vegetarian. I eat meat. Okay. Sometimes I like my vegetables. All right. So I did a vegetarian liquid iron type of situation, and that helped me for 3 weeks. I did that for 3 weeks. It brought my iron levels up enough for my doctor to feel comfortable for me to do the water fast, got my blood work up, and she said it was all good. Hey, y'all. Okay, so that's that. What else are we talking about? So that's the Costa Rica current event. Okay, so let's talk about current reality and what's going on, right? So, as you know, I have a digital marketing company, right? And so there's been a variety of changes with people getting laid off and things like that. So of course, when companies start laying off and companies start losing money, the first thing they get rid of is marketing. So my digital marketing company has taken a major hit. And I kind of anticipated that because I've been in this business for a long time. Here's what I didn't anticipate. I did not anticipate large language models. Like I didn't AI. I didn't anticipate that at all, right? And so let me tell you how definitely lost some digital marketing clients, but how AI has affected my business. And the reason why I want to talk about this, because I think if you were an entrepreneur or you were in business for yourself or you're thinking about getting out there, there are some things you want to consider. So there's a lot of transition that's going to be happening. Just this month of September, I've had 16 people email me and tell me that they've been laid off of their jobs, right? And if you guys know my story, that I lost everything in the Great Recession, 2008, 2009, I had to start all over again. So because of that, it makes me want to kind of create a space where if anyone has to start all over, or if anyone's looking for content on how to start a business or what they need to consider, that I want to give that to you. So that's really why I'm trying to do the live business trainings on Thursday, free for anyone who has access to it. I want to create the content that I wish I had when I was starting over, right? So I've learned a ton. And what I will say for anyone who's either affected now or who is going to be affected with job loss or various transitions, it's going to be okay. And this is a great opportunity to kind of shed all this weight that wasn't necessarily helping you elevate in the first place. And this is what I mean. Like when I was working and grinding and doing all that stuff, I still didn't travel. I didn't hardly see my friends. I didn't do any of the things that made life amazing. I was just working. And then when I lost everything, I was like, what the hell did I do it all for, right? So when it was a time to rebuild, I intentionally made the steps and effort so that I could build the life that I specifically wanted. And so if you are in the process of transition, whether that be health or whether that be wealth or whatever it is, this transition is going to cause you to learn some new things. So you got to be willing to learn some new skills and really figure out, okay, if I was in charge, because you are, if I was in charge of how I wanted my life to be, what is it that I want to implement? What do I want my life to look like 5 years ago? So when I was starting over, did I know I was going to move out the country? Absolutely not. That wasn't on my radar. At the time, it was like, okay, I had no idea what digital marketing was, but I was like, listen, I want a remote life. I don't think remote was the word I used, but I wanted a life where I could be location independent. And so I was like, okay, the thing about marketing, people always want to have more customers. So how do I learn this? And I spent that time learning everything I could about digital marketing. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm saying think about what you want your life to look like and then figure out the skills and the tools and the people and the courses or the classes you need to take to get there. So if you are experiencing this transition, I'm not saying don't feel the emotion, because emotion is real. Okay? The emotion is very real, but this can be the opportunity to start over clean. Like the things that mattered to me a decade ago, like I don't even care about. Like all I want to do is travel, eat good food, and see pretty things. That wasn't really what made me happy or what I thought made me happy 10 years ago. So like just sit down in a little quiet space, even if you sad, you stressed or whatever, and just write down what you want your life to look like 5 years from now. And then from that, you can reverse engineer the plan to do it. And the plan ain't gonna look nothing like you thought it would, okay? But at least you can go into the direction of that. Because when I was working, I associated my worth by how much money I made. So when I lost my clients and I lost everything, I couldn't get over myself. Like I couldn't pick myself up because I kept feeling so unworthy. And I just don't want nobody to feel like that, right? So what I want here in this community, that we support each other, I'm going to give you what I know how to do. I only know how to do a couple things, and I can share that with you. But if people know other stuff, like Listen, network in the comments. We got some dope people in the comments. Hey y'all, hey y'all. And if you have any questions later, we'll do Q&A at the end. How long have we been on here? Okay. All right. What is that? Okay. So that is my pep talk. It's going to be okay. Feel in your feelings as long as you have to, but then I want you to get out of it and start making a plan and figure out how you're going to do things differently. Now, the benefit is because the whole world, when I say globally, the world is going through it, then take some solace in that and know this could be the breather that you need to kind of get on your feet and figure out what works for you and your soul. Because if this was when the economy was booming and everything was great and as you lost your job, nobody really checking for you. But because the whole world is kind of going through this thing, certain adjustments are going to be made. But particularly if you are considering moving to Europe, companies, especially if you were working remotely, companies are bringing y'all back. Like they're asking you to come back. And if you out here gallivanting in a whole nother country and you need to be, there, listen, it's going to be a problem. So don't set yourself up. Okay. Just figure that part out. Okay, so new adventures. Let me tell you the positive things of AI and the negative things. So AI has existed for like 15, 20 years. So that's not new. What is new or relatively new for me is the open source to large language models and how that has been ridiculously crazy. If you just heard about it, but you have not engaged in it, my dear, please go do it. Because once you see it in real time, you realize, okay, do y'all remember for the folks here who are 45 and older, y'all remember when the internet came out? Like we were alive when the internet came out, right? And you remember when Windows came out? I remember I was interning at Sally Mae and Melvin, the tech guy, he sat us down and because we used to have like, Word Perfect, the blue screen. And he was like, this is Windows. You can move your mouse here and do... Listen, AI is kind of like that new thing. So for those of you who are in business or you are working for a company, this thing can really level you up. So here, let me talk about the negative side of how it affected my business and then talk about the positive side. And hopefully you can kind of get something from that. But so the negative side, well, positive and negative. I apparently was using a lot of software in my business that was built on ChatGPT's framework. So products like Jarvis and a couple other stuff that we would use, SEO Surfer, which we still do use SEO Surfer. At any rate, this ChatGPT is $20 a month. Here I was spending hundreds of dollars for these various softwares. So naturally, I canceled the subscriptions on those softwares. So those SaaS companies are having to, I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? So those SaaS companies are having to readjust their whole business model because of this innovation and this open source, right? So you need to think about right now, there's going to be a lot of disruption in the tech space, right? So there's that. It saved me in cost, but it also, a lot of the things that my clients would pay for me or my company to do, creating content for them, they could technically bring that in-house for less than it would cost to pay my company. I am aware of that, and any of my clients who happen to be watching, I share that with them. I stay very transparent. So trust is all you have when you are working with clients. And so we changed the structure of the service offerings that my company provides. Now, that couldn't have happened if I wasn't up on my stuff. So I'm telling you to get up on your stuff and have your clients have major confidence in you so that when you do need to alter or you do need to pivot, it doesn't look like a gimmick. It doesn't look like you're trying to come after them. It doesn't look like you're doing stuff for money. You're looking out for everybody's best interest, okay? So I did have to change my service offerings because to me, it just didn't make a whole bunch of sense. Prime example. So there are writers that I would pay to write on behalf of my company for the benefit of my client. And a writer would take about a week and a half in the process. They'll get all the content they're supposed to write about. Then they would send it back to us for edits. We would look at it. We would ask for edits. That would take an additional three days. OpenAI or various AI models, it takes about 2 hours. So we done went from a week and a half to 2 hours. And in doing some aspects of it, you can kind of automate this process, right? So it stressed me out in regards to my service offering. So I switched some things around, but it also showed that there's some major opportunity here. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because if you're in business right now, you're going to need to do some pivots. You're going to need to look inside your business and see if there's some tech things you're going to have to alter or whatever, right? But two, for my solo entrepreneurs, there has not been a time that you can really do, you can run your business with a lot less people. And so my goal, I'm going to start another company specifically for AI outside of my digital marketing company. I will, if anyone's interested, do that in public so that if you are interested in starting a company, not a company like the one I'm starting, don't do that. That's weird. Um, but if you're just starting a company in general and you want to understand how all that works and stuff, then I can do that in public if that'll help, right? But what I can commit to you is on Thursdays, I'm here with you. That's not Thursdays. I lied. Tuesdays. Dang it. All the links for what's going to happen at least next week are going to be in the description box of this video right here, right? So if you have questions, if you need to network, if you need to find people, listen, we here Tuesday, 6 p.m. Western Europe, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to be here live. I forgot what I was saying. About that. Why was I bringing that up? Oh, solo entrepreneur. So if you are a solo entrepreneur, a lot of aspects of your business can be automated. I'm working on an AI bot right now that makes the content creation automated. I have not succeeded yet. I'm learning Python. First of all, does anyone know Python? Like, if you know Python, please come to me on Instagram and talk to me in my DMs, because I really don't know if my 45-year-old brain, I'll be 45 in January. Anyway, I don't know if my brain can handle coding, but I'm determined to learn it. And that's just what that is. But I'm working on that and lead generation. So the various things that a company would have to do and usually have to pay staff for, you can kind of start to do that yourself. So if there was ever a time to become an entrepreneur or do the things you need to do, you can really do it now. So that's what's going on. All right, we got a lot of activity going on in the chat. My kids know Python. Can you let me borrow your kids? Please, because I am over here struggling. God bless you and your children. Okay, so listen, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Really, what I wanted to come here and let you know is that I'm good, because you guys have been sending me emails, asking me where I'm at, what am I doing. I'm okay, but I wasn't. Listen, my health was on some foolishness, and I was ready to be like, good night, y'all, because I can't do this. Hey, Terry. Okay, Kim, Deborah. Okay, I got y'all. Let me see. Okay. Jessica, what's going on? Hello. Hey, y'all. Thank you. Bonjour, Shirley. Oh my gosh, Shirley, how are you? You owe me a call. Let's see what's going on. For those of you who are going to come see me, hey, Lucille. Hey, Stacy. Michelle, what's going on? Diane, hey, baby. Y'all got any questions for me before we get started? Again, next week we're going to be together. We'll talk about Portugal on Wednesday. On Tuesday, we're talking business. Every time you see me live on Tuesday, at least for the month of October, it's going to be business. We're talking business. We're going to start it off from the very beginning. Jessica, you on a fasting regime? I hear that. Thank you, love. Thank you, Latifa. Where you been? Okay, so do we have questions? Fluorides? I think that's a medication. I'm not on any medication. Okay, so I don't think we have any questions. Terry is a teacher. Glad your treatment brought you back to health. Thank you, Yolanda. I appreciate that. Okay, folks, so hold on. Let me see this. Let me see. Yeah, AI came in and sneak when humans are in the turmoil, but it still believe people like you with skills you have. Listen, AI is... If you have not, can we talk for a second? If you have not gotten to ChatGPT, it's free. Just sign up and check it out. If you check it out, you're gonna see some things. Okay, right, content for business, and I'm not bothered by AI. You cannot fake human bound and authenticity. Humble veg, that is true. But let me tell you something. Y'all know companies are raggedy. They do not care about you as a person, and companies are going to learn to become more efficient, right? So companies, the way Google is looking at things, again, I'm a digital marketing girl, so I already know this. Google is it's indexing AI content. So once companies start learning that they can use AI, they will need less writers. Not saying they'll ever get rid of the human touch, because you still have to have someone look over the content so it doesn't sound weird and all that other stuff. But it doesn't mean you need to hire 15 writers anymore. You may only need to hire 3. You may literally just, you'll start to see it exists now. If you look at job listings now, you'll see some people that want prompt engineers or someone to look over AI content and add a human touch. So what that means, competition is going to be stiff. So if you don't have any interaction with AI or large language models and things of that nature, and there is a writer who does, there can be some stuff there. So, people just listen. Right now, everybody need to learn a couple more skills. If you got one skill in your bag, get 2 more, because this is what's getting ready to go down. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I'm just telling people you guys stay up on your stuff, because stuff is changing. After I got fired, okay, let's see. After I got fired, I was very sad, hugged my students, and left at school. Oh, Terry, I'm sorry, love heart. What you doing now? Hey, love, what if I so good? Myriad. Okay, let's see. Rate of health issues, as long as one cares. Cinnamon, your skin is beautiful. One of the benefits of fasting. Thank you, love. So this is like makeup too. I don't know if I would say my skin is great, but thank you. I'll take that compliment, honey. Just got laid off and new beginning is starting. Stacy, okay, tell me, what's your new beginning? I want to hear about this. Stacy said, I'm glad you feel good. Stacy, if you start feeling any kind of way, reach out to some people, okay? Because listen. All right, let's see, Yolande. How do you schedule your time daily so that you don't burn out from the startup process? That is such a good question. Okay, first of all, you got to focus on the things that make you money. Okay, I think a lot of people are burned out on the startup process. I'm sweating. Sorry. A lot of people are burnt out on the startup process, particularly the ones that I speak with, because they're doing things that don't necessarily bring in money. They're concentrating on logos and websites and things and that, but they have not talked to one customer. They have not done any research on like when you are having a small business, you should be able to talk to your first 10 to 15 to 50 potential customers. You should be able to ask them questions, find out what their problem was, and really develop that intimate relationship, at least with your first 50. That's actually easy. Most people don't want to talk to their customers. They want the money, but they don't want to talk to customers, which is crazy. So even if you don't have a website or if you don't have any of that, you can start there. Y'all have heard me say this before. You do not need a website to start a business. You need to be able to solve somebody's problem. Okay, and that is how you get paid for it. So if there's a certain industry or something that you know of that's already in your realm, start to talk to people and find out what the problems are and how your skill set can fix it. Then once you start growing, then you can worry about all that other stuff, websites and all that other stuff. Does that make sense? Make sure you're reaching out to customers. Make sure you're reaching out to potential people you want to do business. Like, honestly, I would recommend creating a hit list. And so a hit list is, let's say, 50 companies that you want to do business for. And the reason you want to do business with, the reason why I say do a hit list is because if you have 50 companies that you want to do business with, you took the time to research them, know about them, understand them, figure out what your skill set can be to them specifically. So you can pitch to them in a way that's not generic. A lot of people, when they do lead generation, they're using that same funky template that they send to everybody and then wondering why they're not closing any deals. But if you create your hit list, you're taking the time to strategically find out what templates work for your market, what do they want to hear. So don't forget to think about the people who are around you in your network who you could potentially be your first client, okay? So get the clients first. Worry about how am I going to solve a problem? How am I going to get clients first? And I find that a lot of new entrepreneurs are focused on, oh, I got to create an Instagram page. Oh, I got to create they do all this social stuff and they have no workflow from when they actually get a client. So now you done all this advertising and you get a client and now you're looking ridiculous because you don't know what your workflow is from when the client comes to you from when they in. That's a problem. Okay. So don't forget to focus on that. Hey, Black Mom Rainbow Life. Love you, girl. Okay, thanks for telling the deal about money and exchange issues. We need to pivot for career opportunities. Yes. So this is, and I'm not playing. I don't know why people, I mean, how many arguments I got in my comments on that video about currency exchange. And it's, you can literally go look at a chart. Go look at a chart, compare the USD to the euro over the course of 10 years. Don't believe me, just go look. And then you will have some idea on that. So yes, if you were moving to Europe, and you make USD, your retirement or your income is USD, please think about it. Need an international recruiter. If anyone knows someone, please let me know. Okay, so in the comments, looking for an international recruiter. Thank you for this. Hope it's okay. Hosted by. Okay, all right. Any questions? Word perfect. My 45 and old in house. AI has really helped me. Yes. Hey, listen, Richard, I agree. AI has been amazing. But if you don't, you know what? Can I tell you what I did? I was getting worried that AI was like, "Gonna take my clients," not like tomorrow, but like soon. So I went to Chat GTP and I was like, "So how do I stay competitive if in my market in the era of AI?" Do you know what answered the question very thoroughly and gave me some ways to pivot? Listen. Okay, all right. Short transitional duties, but the human element is needed. I absolutely agree with you. Human element is needed. But guess how many companies could care less about the human element? One guess? They laying people off. So I agree with you, but it does mean that less humans will be needed. So just prepare. I think that if you include AI in your workflow or how you deliver services or things like that, or maybe helping you, it's like really having a really smart friend that read the whole internet. You know what I mean? So like just get into it. Get into it. Love chat using Mid Journey. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. Yes, we do business online workers. Okay. So my kids know Python. I love it. All right. So how long we been on this thing? Why can't I find a clock? Okay, 30 minutes. Okay. So if there are no questions, no, but there are no coding options out there to help you build things. I have another question. Is it easier to Python in here? Python is supposed to be easier. I think it depends on how your brain is, right? Because my brain is creative. So looking at code, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. When you have good health, you get exactly. Glad to hear you. Hey, Richard. Glad to have you recovered. Thank you so much. You're learning to code as well. That's what's up, brown sugar babe. That's what's up. Okay, great to know you're doing well. AI can be extremely helpful. I agree. Hey there, John. Thank you, John. Working in marketing as well. Oh my God. Okay, Richard. Yes, I took a prompt engineering course, and that literally just changed my life. It actually changed the output of what I was using AI for. So for those of you who are interested, even if you don't want to put it into your company, if you just want to be more efficient, really consider some prompt engineering. I think one of the website is promptengineer.org. I might have made that up, but if people are interested, I'll spend some time on it and give you some of the resources that I use. I use AI daily. Me too. Oh my God, just to look things up to explain Korea. Yes. Okay. Hey, Maya. What's going on? How they say positive in health issues, especially abroad. Ooh. How do you stay positive with health issues, especially abroad? I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't positive. I was not positive. I was calling people at home like, listen, I'm about to fly to Switzerland and good night, y'all, because I can't do this, right? Like, I wasn't even positive. My folks made me come home. They were like, come home because somebody's going to have to take care of you. And it wasn't that there's not doctors here. That was perfectly that. I just got a real diehard group of folks back home and they was threatening me. But how do you stay positive? I don't know, love. Shoot, tell me if you learn, because I was not. Can you recommend class for prompt engineering? There is a... Oh, Richard. Yes, Richard. But there's a website. Can I find it real quick? Let me go on my phone and see if I can find it. I think it's like promptengineer.org. But there's a bunch of them that are free. So at least just check that part first. Prompt engineering. Can somebody Google it? Because I can't. My phone ain't acting right. I think it's promptengineering.org. Check it out. Somebody Google that real quick. Question. Okay. Okay, Kayla. Question 48. And no computer skills. What computer skills should I learn to keep up? So behind. All right. That's a good question. What computer skills? Do you know how to, like, can you type fast though? Can you type fast? Because really just start, I would say find out what you like. Because, like, computer skills are big, just like starting a business. Like, what kind of business can I start? Well, what do you like doing? So, find out what you like doing and then finding out what area works with that. Like, so for example, I am attempting to learn more about large language models. That's forcing me to learn Python. If you wanted to get more so into websites, then you might want to learn CSS or JavaScript or HTML. If you know, whatever it is you want to do that you like doing. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you're going to spend a lot of time trying to learn this. And it is really difficult to learn something and you hate it. Ask me how I know, because I'm not enjoying Python. But okay, because all coding, AI, digital marketing is just foreign language to me. No, I get it. It's foreign language to you. You gotta kind of be easy on yourself. It's foreign language to you because you don't know nothing about it. Just like I don't know anything about some other languages, and of course it sounds like foreign language. So once you start getting into it and you get into the basics, it'll all start to make sense initially, but you just got to take the first step. So if you wanted to learn more about digital marketing, you could start just with email marketing and read everything you can on email marketing. You may just want to stay on that if you're in the digital marketing space, but there's so many aspects of digital marketing. So really find, this is what I want people to understand. In this area of transition, you're going to have to do a lot of searching just to see what feels good. So if you've been working for a company for a while and you've been doing the same position for a long time, you got to get used to looking and checking out new things again. Okay. So I would encourage people to start learning a skill outside of some of the skills that you know, or some skills that can complement the skills you currently have. Right now, it's time to re-up and get more skills than you currently have, because things are going to get significantly more competitive. We know that corporations do not care about their employees and their people. They're going to continue to learn how to get more efficient with less people. That's just duh, right? So find out. I really feel like this is going to be the time where it's going to give more life to freelancers and contractors, because if, let's say, a company has a writing project or a programming project and they can't afford the agency they used to go to, so now they can go to smaller companies or individuals or contractors, because remember, that's what everyone was an entrepreneur when initially before the industrialization started. So if you were a blacksmith or you were a butcher or whatever, like, everyone was an entrepreneur. So with that being said, if you focus on doing something you really enjoy doing, you can potentially do it better because you can spend more time doing it than someone that has no desire to do this. I really don't want to learn Python. And I'm not learning Python to learn how to code. I'm more so learning it to learn how to read code and how to create various automations that will help people in my industry, right? So I'm learning Python. Am I excited about it? Can you tell me? I'm so not excited about it. But the other aspects of learning about deep learning and large language models, I'm super excited about that part. But this is a milestone, learning Python, I have to get through to get over to this side. Does that make sense? So figure out what you like to do, and then you can kind of reverse engineer, if that helps. I hope that was helpful. Okay, colleagues worked in my company of 18 just got laid off. Ugh, give your laptops and your badge goodbye. Oh, these jobs are not loyal. They are absolutely not loyal. Are you back in Portugal? I am back in Portugal. I've been here for a couple months, and I cannot leave Europe for a while because I spent too much time in America. Okay, I is literally in its infancy stage and it's already powerful. Listen, who are you telling? Like, this is why I'm telling you, like, people, you got to get into this, because it's not what the change it has made from March to now. It's not a game. Computers are our friends. Yes, they are, love. They are our friends. Okay, this is real. Appreciate transparency. Sure thing, Allison. Okay, Spice is 100% right. A lot of areas in computing. Do a lot of areas in computing fit on. Listen, yes. Take a free AI course. Absolutely. Look, you're in. Oh, that's what's up. I mean, it's something with all caps. We can take new things at any age. Yes, at any freaking age, you can learn something new. I encourage you. I love it. Please do it, y'all. I felt this way when I tried to learn JavaScript. Girl, JavaScript. Okay, folks, be mindful that ChatGPT is just one of the thousand. That is absolutely correct. So ChatGPT is just one of them. There's a bunch of them. And the cool thing for you creatives, who like imaging and stuff like that, there's Midjourney. ChatGPT is coming out with something else that's more visual. There's Dalek. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on out there. So whatever your industry is, I suggest find out how AI can help you in your specific industry so that you would be at least up on your game and ahead of all the other people who haven't even cracked a screen to look at it. Okay, so start to think about that and start to think about it strategically, but trust and believe there is going to become a point when you are looking for a job, they're going to want to know, do you have any experiences with large language models and Python? Like my partner, I still don't understand what he does, but they're asking now, like, do you know Python? And you're like, what? Like, you never asked me that before. So companies are starting to pivot, and if they can look, the people with low education life is looking scary ahead. Okay, so I feel you. Ooh, I feel you. Okay, can we just have a moment real quick, right? So I want you to understand that even though you may not have like maybe a formal education, I don't even remember what I learned in college. I'm gonna be real with you. I know I had to get a degree, but I don't know where I learned. You know where I learned most of my life is on YouTube University. Real talk. When I was stuck in the house and I didn't have any clients or anyone to work with, and I needed to transition my whole business model because I wasn't in digital marketing, I started on YouTube. Anytime I get lost doing something now, I go to YouTube. YouTube has literally out here giving degrees to people so you could at least learn the basics. So please don't feel so lost. You have two huge tools. If you want me to do a whole video, because I had ChatGPT help me learn Portuguese, and now that ChatGPT talks and listens, gonna lose it. So I had to create a lesson plan for me. I had to do all of these things. So you can literally use AI to help you learn a specific task. So I used it even in learning Python. There were certain components of Python that I didn't quite understand. And I asked it, if it can explain various variables and lists and how it be used in everyday life is what I asked it. And it helped me understand it in terms that I understood. Specifically when I used it to learn, to get better in Portuguese in certain areas, because I got sick, I had to speak Portuguese and use medical terms I had never used before because I never went to the doctor. So I asked it can you create a lesson plan for me of everyday use in doctors offices. So there was vocabulary there. It did that whole thing. It gave me dialogue, gave me homework. So please don't feel like you can't. Okay, there's so many resources out here that can help you be really, really smart at this. You just got to give it the time, baby. So please, please, please believe in that. Okay, Bard. Yeah, me and Bard got an interesting relationship. But yes, Bard I think is great when I'm about to do some Google stuff because it seems to be very educated on that. But it has included, you can add the extensions from YouTube, Google Flights, Google Hotels, all the Google products to Bard, which is pretty freaking cool, right? So, y'all, do we have questions or anything? Do I need to go over things? Can we head out? Are we good? Some careers are being phased out. That is true. But new jobs and careers are going to be created. Yeah, no, this is absolutely true. Some jobs will be phased out, but new careers are going to be created, especially around generative AI. I agree. Oh, John, we got to get up because I feel like we can nerd out. I know it's hard, but we have to keep learning to keep up. I absolutely agree. We got to keep learning, folks. Please, please, whatever the age, the desire, whatever, your brain is not broken. It can still learn. I do find at this age, you do have to make it more relative to what you like, because then it sticks better for me. So as learning Python, they keep talking about, it's most people who teach in Python classes have a technical background. So the examples they use, my brain is like, what are you talking about? Like, what? So I literally have to take the lesson or the area that I'm talking about and I put it into AI and I was like, can you explain this like I'm in 10th grade? And what are the real world applications for these aspects? And then it makes sense to me. So using AI as a learning aid, I'm telling you, if you haven't, it's actually really, really cool. So we're going to wrap up. I came here today because I want to let y'all know I'm good, but I also want to let you know that we are going to be here to support each other. I'll be here at least for the month of October. If you have questions, go ahead and shoot me an email. If you're not on my list, get on my list. All the important links are in the description box. So is that all I had to tell y'all? Yeah. So we'll be doing the training for business on Tuesdays. This Wednesday, next Wednesday, we'll do the Portugal Q&A. If you have any questions, email them to me. Even if I don't answer, it doesn't mean I don't see it. I will answer it when I have time like this. Am I sweating? Jesus Christ. Okay, please show us how to use ChatGPT for Portuguese lessons. Okay, I'll set that up. I'll do that. Oh, I can't do it during the Portuguese live thing. That just. But I'll create a video specifically for that if that helps. AI can help you create business opportunities. Use it and augment and see. You're good at filling the gaps for what you're not. Agree totally. I'm with you, Richard. Love this conversation. Great timing. Yes, Rebloom. Yay. Missed the live, but watch the replay. Perfect. Black travel and culture. Great conversation. Okay, guys, this is what it is. Come with me next week. We're going to be live. We're going to do business on one day. We're going to do Portugal on another. I will document my water fast journey. I'll tell you what I did, all that other stuff. I'll just make that like a stagnant video and I'll put that up on the channel for those of you who are interested. I am not encouraging y'all to do a water fast. If you don't want to, I don't care, right? But if you want to, I'm just going to tell you what I feel like people didn't tell me because I went on the YouTubes to try to figure out how hard this was and I feel like people lied to me. So I will share that with you as well. And I will see you guys next time. Hopefully I'll see some of you all next week. Good to see you. Okay. Mwah, folks, it's been real. And I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay. Ciao, ciao.